On Opening Soon by Design, an urban guy gets suburban. Fashion designer Ross Meyer will do anything to become a household name, even if it means moving to the burbs.
It really comes down to exposure, and that's what it's all about there.
But can this control freak give up his power and let the mall call the shots?
I have the power to shut down the job site at any time.
Ross Meyer is an up-and-coming fashion designer who wants to make it big. He's a city boy with a discerning clientele.
I think my ideal client would be somebody just with an air of sophistication and certainly just classic beauty. I think Jackie Onassis probably would sum up that look. Hey, Joanne! Hey, how are you?
Great stuff.
Nice to see you.
See?
Exactly.
Ross has been in the business of creating high-end women's wear for the last 15 years and has a loyal following with the ladies who lunch set.
We really provide a garment that is sophisticated and timeless, but interesting and fun and different.
But Ross wants more, way more. His 2 chic downtown boutiques are not enough. To make it big, this urban cowboy has decided to turn his back on the city and head to the burbs.
I want to do it all, and I continually will do as much as I can.
This is Mississauga, a suburb of Toronto. Here, shopping is all about malls. What's lured Ross is Sherway Gardens. It boasts 10 million shoppers a year. With a store here, Ross could generate more sales than both of his other stores combined.
Going into Sherway means I can really make a lot of money, and that's what I'm after.
But it does mean going against all of his natural instincts.
If somebody asked me, would you like to open a store in a mall, I would say definitely not. It's not the type of image that I want to portray for our label.
He's just such a downtown type of guy, and for Ross to go up, into the suburbs, it's kind of shocking.
But this is no ordinary mall. Sherway Gardens is very particular about its retail tenants.
I think there's a great audience there. I'm surrounded by wonderful retailers definitely of a higher caliber. And it really comes down to exposure, and that's what it's all about there. It wasn't about a bunch of low-end retailers and mall rats.
But the price of admission isn't cheap. Rent is a whopping $10,000 a month for a mere 700 square feet. Ross is determined to stay within a $50,000 construction budget, and he must open before the summer sales begin.
We'd like to be open in 3 weeks, and I would like to be open right now, and if I had my way, I would be.
Ross's design challenge is to make the store feel spacious while displaying as much merchandise as possible. Making the most out of this small space is designer Garth Norbrotten and architect Daniel Johnson.
We want to float things off the wall so it appears that the space is a little bit bigger. We want some color maybe at the back of the space to draw someone's eye. And we talked about floor tiles that are horizontal that
draw the eye back?
Well, and make the space seem a little bit wider, yeah. So that's sort of the concept behind the whole thing.
Although the design is clean and simple, Ross still wants drama.
I think I want something original that's dramatic, that people kind of stand back and go, wow, what is that? It kind of draws you in, piques your interest.
The only other thing that we're watching your budget,
which is very, very important.
We've got
Absolutely.
We've got timelines. So, the one thing I thought is, maybe like a squiggle of neon.
Okay.
That, that just floats above the desk.
Yeah, I love that.
We have to keep in mind 3 weeks, too.
3 weeks.
This is going to be on budget, on time, and dramatic.
It's got to be cheap.
Square footage.
Ross's business philosophy is based on having total control. But here at the mall, things are different. He can't even start construction until he gets mall approval. Meet Michael McDonald, Sherway's enforcer. Every decision from the light fixture to the storefront needs his seal of approval.
I've had a lot of complaints from contractors and tenants say, you're a little bit too picky, but the point is, we say, well, it's Sherway Gardens. If you want to be here, you have to abide by our criteria, I mean, it's a prestige mall, and you have to follow our rules.
Following someone else's rules won't be easy for Ross. He's always been the guy in charge, but this time almost everything is out of his hands. With a strict deadline, a tight budget, and someone else calling the shots, is this project in the burbs a recipe for disaster?
I'm standing in this store that's a complete, empty raw shell. Consumers are out in the mall shopping and there's bags and I'm just, chomping at the bit here to get open. Get the hard hats, let's start now.
Opening day is 2.5 weeks away.
I'm looking at the calendar going, we're opening in 2 weeks. Where are these things? They're not even manufactured yet. They're not even in the works.
Ross Meyer's store was supposed to be open a week ago, but waiting for mall approvals has caused serious delays. Ross is getting impatient.
As every day goes by, we chew our fingers going, we need to be open, we need to be open.
Ross is discovering the true price of doing business in a mall. He has to pay for electrical improvements, add a costly storefront, and hire a union crew. Ross's budget has doubled.
There are some hard times dealing with tenants saying, well, I don't want to do this, it's going to cost me too much money. But the point is, we say, well, it's Sherway Gardens.
It's now 2.5 weeks to opening, and the drywall is underway, but painting won't be happening anytime soon. The tile guy can't lay down the floor because the space is covered with debris, and the ceiling is still raw and exposed. Ross is struggling to stay on top of it.
So what are these guys doing now? Like, where are they at? Like, what are they doing today and what are they doing tomorrow?
Well, I think they're doing the electrical work right now.
Right. There's not a lot I can do, and that's the problem. I can't actually do anything. I feel, like a little helpless because the work is in everybody else's hands. The contractor he coordinates the trades, and there's no real, people I can talk to or phone or whatever. It's just, I gotta sit back.
Ross hates not being in charge. Since launching his fashion line when he was just 21, he's been in total control of his business.
I knew I wanted to be a designer from a fairly young age, and it was something that I excelled at. I came out of school and I met up with a guy that was in business, Mark, and we started a line, and it just kind of took off from there. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Ross turned his love of high-quality retail stores into $1 million business. But when he launched those stores, he didn't have to deal with this guy.
One thing I noticed, the guys should be wearing safety glasses and hard hats. I noticed guys chipping here.
Oh, okay.
So they need to put their safety equipment on. And they've got 15 minutes before they got to stop. Okay? Thanks a lot. This morning when I walked in, make sure that the guys are all wearing their safety equipment. They're following the rules.
One of those rules is no noisy construction when the mall is open. That means hammers down by 10 a.m.
If they're making too much noise, they are now, that they're not doing that and they're following the rules and regulations. I have the power to shut down the job site at any time if people are not following the rules.
Getting this store built has turned into a major headache. Ross can't pick his own tile. He can't pick his own lighting. He can't even pick his own contractor.
The contractor that's going to do the work and all the sub-trades that are going to work for the general contractor all have to be part of a union. They all have to be approved by Sherway.
Larry Redick has been the contractor for over a dozen jobs at Sherway Gardens. Ross pays him, but his real boss is the mall.
To get the project on the way, the mall has criteria that Ross has to follow, and he can try and be artistic and change that to a certain degree, but the mall ultimately has to approve that information.
I'm a hands-on perfectionist, and sometimes I feel like if I'm not doing it, it's never going to get done right. But in a case like this, I have to step back and I have to let people have control. But it just comes down to wanting everything done just so and being a perfectionist, which can be a very bad thing, a really bad thing sometimes.
There's a fight brewing about tiles on the storefront. The mall's demanding Ross replace some of them. He thinks it's their responsibility.
And the previous tenant damaged a lot of these tiles.
They did.
So that's what these guys have been replacing as well.
Well, we replaced it.
Well, right. No, I mean Rob, meaning these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it not the landlord's responsibility to fix it?
Oh, it's a gray area. I mean, yeah.
No?
Tenants. I believe it's a tenant.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lease issue, Ross, which I've actually never seen. I mean, I know principles in it, but it's something you should for sure look into.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like I don't know. I've just taken on something and paid for something that's landlord's work.
How about your bathroom store? It's a lot
Despite
smaller.
all the mall issues, Ross is holding on to his vision for the store, which includes a dramatic light fixture.
Is the light going to be here in time for the opening?
Well,
Like
I'm going to know better on Thursday.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to offload this, but Garth has really been working with these guys. I think it's doable, but again,
I don't know.
It's a tough question to answer because it hasn't been designed. I mean,
Sure.
Am I avoiding your question?
Yes.
Have I answered it?
Yes. I mean, I have to shake you down.
No, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it will.
Okay.
I'm an optimist.
Okay. I'm looking at the calendar going, we're opening in 2 weeks. Where are these things? They're not even manufactured yet. They're not even in the works.
Opening day is 2 weeks away.
Because I'm losing business like hand over fist now at this point. Here we are, it's Wednesday morning, we're standing in front of our store, we're supposed to be opening on Saturday morning, and I'm gonna walk through that door in a second, and honestly don't know what I'm gonna see.
Want the light?
Hello?
Want the lighting layout changed?
Should I be coming in?
I don't know, what's this? Yeah.
Those two lights.
Watch your step there.
I'll be falling on my face. Wow. So what do we think?
I think there's a lot of work to do.
It's 3 days before opening. The wall panels aren't ready, the painting still hasn't begun, and the tile on the floor isn't finished.
The tile's going to be done today, but they got to come back and grout. Wall panels, I understand the parts are in, but they came in late.
There's a lot of work to be done.
There's a lot of work, including millwork, and Garth is reviewing issues with Rob and lighting that doesn't seem to be right. So.
Okay. I think my smile is ready to be turned upside down.
What's the distance?
I think this looks fairly much like it did last Friday when I was here. So it's simply waiting for custom made and fitted pieces that are coming from the shop. And when is that happening?
Rob's got to ask.
Yeah.
Or Larry's got to ask. Yeah. I don't know what the schedule is.
Okay. Where is Larry?
Not here yet.
Okay. Coming.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I think I've heard 11, which is it's 10 to 11 now. So.
Okay. This does not look like I'm opening on Saturday. At all. At all.
But construction delays aren't the only snafu. Ross's dramatic light fixture has only just been designed 2 days ago.
But that's the effect looking at it from the side.
What do you think of that?
I think it's dramatic.
Yeah.
You know, it's taken a little while for us to come up with something that Ross liked. It's essentially 600 fiber optic cables that hang down about 3.5 feet from the ceiling. From a very, very tightly spaced grid that will essentially make a little cloud of light, necessary light.
On top of that, there's been a mix-up with the ceiling lights.
It seems that the most current drawings, at least for the reflective ceiling plan, weren't given to the site.
So they worked off drawings, old drawings.
Old drawings. There's supposed to be track lighting along here.
Right.
And there's no outlet, no box, no junction box for the track light. And these two lights are, aren't on the reflective ceiling plan. So they're wrong. See, here's the email. I've got every other email I've sent to him, and I know he's used this information that's in these other emails. So he's,
It seems like
he just missed it.
I don't believe I got an email from Garth, and that's really the issue. I've sent a lot of emails off to them and phone calls. You don't get a phone call back and you get an email back and it's too late.
So there's communication problems here, and I think that when Larry gets here, things have to be laid out. So it's time to crack some heads around here. Get down to business.
All Ross wants to know is when can he open? Nobody is giving him a straight answer.
Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen in 2 days for this weekend, which is a real shame. Because I'm losing business like hand over fist now at this point. Looking around the mall, people are on sale. They're 30 to 40% of their goods are on sale, and that's only going to escalate in the next couple of weeks. So So,
Ross is losing $5,000 a day by not being open.
we're going to lose another weekend of sales. But, you know, there's nothing we can do about it. Things just have to keep rolling. And right now, they don't seem to be rolling. It seems like there's nobody in this beautiful store of ours, that there's no workers. Everybody seems to be on lunch, and they seem to have been on lunch for about, I don't know, a while. So we'll see.
Opening day is now 8 days away.
I can't hear about shit like that right now. You know what, I'm too busy, and I can't deal with like stuff like that. You know, I'm in the middle of chaos right here, and you know what, it's gonna have to wait.
It's the day before opening, and urban designer Ross Meyer is about to see his mall store for the first time.
You ready to see this?
You ready?
I think so.
1, 2, 3.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
I knew I was gonna be surprised, but this is just like, wow. It is so clean, like it's just so seamless and clean. And I mean, I know there was tons of crap in here before everywhere, and it was dirty and whatever, but wow. So this is why I paid so much money for this desk. This was thousands and thousands of dollars, and I couldn't understand why.
It's different in that it's I think a really clean look. At first, when you look at it, I was thinking there's not much in this store, but now it's more clean, more of I guess a high-end kind of look. So I think it's really nice. I like it. The Ross Meyer sign's a little different for me, but again, maybe that's a New York kind of look. I don't know. So, you know.
Despite the fact that it took twice the time and twice the budget to complete the 700-square-foot space, Ross is happy. Almost.
Okay. What color does this get painted out? Is this painted out this color?
No, that's clear coated.
Is it?
Clear coat maple, yeah.
Okay.
That was on the drawing.
Was it? Yeah. Okay.
Time to unload the truck and load up the shop. After watching and waiting for others to finish his store, Ross can finally take over. He is in his element.
I feel these are very strong.
Ross is too busy at the mall to deal with what's going on at his downtown store.
Lydia, I can't hear about shit like that right now. You know what, I'm too busy, and I can't deal with like stuff like that. You know, I'm in the middle of chaos right here, and you know what, it's gonna have to wait. Really. Merchandising is now crucial, it's key. We're gonna spend a lot of time playing around with the clothes, making sure the store really just has a good, you know, color-coded, streamlined effect. Everything's in place. It's a new store, so we can't kind of rely on what we've done in the other stores. It's gonna take some time and real playing around, but we'll be here late, but it'll get done for tomorrow.
It's 3 hours to opening, and Ross is getting ready to bring his downtown edge to the burbs. He's been up most of the night putting everything in its place, including evening gowns in the front, with suits and separates color-coordinated throughout the store.
Is that how you're doing it? No, it should be small, medium, large. Okay.
The $5,000 light fixture arrived just in time.
Exactly. No, it's not. No, it looks very natural.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's Ross's turn to take control of the mall. He's holding a fashion show right in the middle of it. All of Ross's favorite clients are here, as well as potential big spenders from the burbs. Ross knows that in the world of fashion, your clothes have to be front and center. It's an elegant and sophisticated night for his favorite ladies, just like Ross wanted.
This
store seems small, but it's, you know what? It just seems small. It's clean, it's light, the lighting, enhance the clothes that they're hanging. It's just, you know, everything fits together.
Oh, it's so spacious, easy to see things. The lighting is fantastic. It's just a great place to shop. Very good. I love it. And having Ross Myers here just completes everything. It's just perfect.
I know Ross is happy, you know, sales are doing well. And I know a lot of people stop in and say, it looks good.
The clientele is here, and it's just a fabulous mall for me. I mean, a great location within the mall. So it works. It's a great marriage of client and style. Little one in the store.
Just watching TV.
Yeah? Okay.
I should see I'm not only a referee, so I want to yes, marvelous coat.
Yeah.
Where should I go?
Did you turn her into a co-person too?
I saw her.
Oh, yeah.